Super BS.
Well, hello, it's me, lovable baby boy Brank, back from the dead and ready to break some bread, and I'm joined by...
I don't know, who are you joined by?
Oh, I will never know the sultry voice of Gerald Glassford. I'm glad that you're here, my brother.
Oh, sultry.
We're missing
Sultry.
a special Jank. He will be back. We will miss him, but he will be back to talk about this. Today's episode is super special. We're going to be kicking off a 2025 predictions podcast. You probably just heard our Super BS Game of the Year 2024 episode that ended with a tie. Astrobot, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth were the two winners. So, yeah, we're ready to kick it off. But before we start talking about all the great games you're going to be playing in 2025, what is the funnest thing you've been doing so far in 2025, Gerald? I need to hear about your life. I need to hear about all the cool stuff you've done.
Well, I just have to talk to you in this voice because you said sultry. So,
Oh, yeah.
All right. For your listening pleasure is... No, really, seriously. I guess getting back from Seattle, checking out the Microsoft store.
Nice.
Also got to check out the Funko store. Got myself the Podfather Funko right there. I had that made doing a custom job, which you could do at the Funko store. It's really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
I went to the Microsoft store again. I had been there once before. Got to check out again and show my daughters the Microsoft Museum. It's like a big, large room of just the history of Microsoft. It's not elaborate or detailed or huge. It's just one room essentially, and then just a whole bunch of Xbox Series X's put against each other. You know, and you get to go ahead and play that, some games if you want. But across the way, they had the Microsoft Store. Take a look at that as far as the Xbox and things of that nature. And one thing I wanted to say though is that when you go there, the thing that you don't see is or are, for the most part, Xbox game paraphernalia like you do on the Xbox Game Store. You see a lot of Xbox stuff, even some Minecraft stuff. You see a lot of Microsoft branded stuff. But I'm like asking, okay, where's the E-Day shirts you guys got online at the Xbox?
Yeah.
Store? Where's the Avowed t-shirt that you have on the Xbox Game Store? And they're like, well, sir, we did acquire them, but sometimes you guys own them now for over a year. In the case of Gears of War and Halo, they've been in
decades.
Yeah, decades. No excuse. Yeah. These are things that
it's crazy.
So when I get mad at and I'm sitting here in the middle of a department store wondering why Indiana Jones has not even got a lick of advertising in the stores. I just have to go no further than Microsoft itself and realize, man, the missed opportunities that they have, it must be nice just selling so many copies of Windows and Office Break that you could just leave all this huge wad of cash on the table.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy, right? Like the idea that all of their business is essentially Microsoft Office. But did you get a chance? So back in the day, they used to have Microsoft stores everywhere. They had like one in the mall near me and one, honestly, 20 minutes away from my house too. Did they have one near you?
They did.
I miss going there. Did you ever go during that crazy time where they're giving away $25 gift cards every day that you went to Bing search?
No, but
I've told.
I love my Bing search because I've got free Game Pass from it, so I'll say that.
Yeah, reward points. So back when they opened the Microsoft Store, and I always tell
I'm
the
story. I'm
story
going to do a Bing search while you're talking. Go ahead.
I probably got $800 worth of Xbox gift card credits. This was during the 360 era.
Nice.
Because every single day you could go to a Microsoft Store, search 5 things on Bing, and then they would give you a $25 gift card voucher. You couldn't stack them. I guess what they originally did is right when they started the promotion, they allowed stacking, and tons of people with their families would come in, and they got free computers from doing it. You know what I mean? So you couldn't stack it, but you could go to different stores like I did every day. And you could go each day to each store, which I did multiple times. And you could have your family go to each store, which I asked my family to do. So I got like $800 in this probably 30 to 40 day window of a promotion. But that is one of the probably many reasons why the Microsoft stores no longer exist outside Washington. They were just giving away things too much, and it didn't make any sense. I don't even know how many people buy things there. I only bought only game I remember buying was Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Midnight launch. We did it. We went there.
I'm just saying right now that looking up Super BS Gamescast on Bing does get you 5 points. So I'll just say that.
Oh man, you got to look that up. Got to get those 5 points and get those rewards points. Okay, well, we're going to get to what is undeniably going to be a pretty crazy year in gaming, but currently we've got a light list of things coming out. So we're going to start in January. It doesn't seem like there are many announcements past April.
I feel like this is the calm before the storm, Frank.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to have a lot of announcements by the summer and potentially later on this week, which we'll talk about more in our predictions.
And I think you know why.
Portion.
You and I both know why. There are two reasons why.
Yeah.
GTA 6 and Switch 2 are the reasons why everybody is hesitating to announce stuff right now.
Yeah, and I think we're going to, I guess we'll get to it right now because it's not even a prediction. The rumor is the Switch 2 announcement will be this Thursday. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping it comes through. The guy who said the rumor is not the most reliable. I think his name's Nate the Hate. Mm-hmm. He's made a lot of predictions. A handful of them have come true. But if he is right, it does seem like it needs to happen soon, right? They said they were going to announce it within Q1 of 2025 before the end of the fiscal year. And we're closing in on and like the idea is it's probably going to launch, I've heard, as early as April. So like they have to start talking about it if they're going to start selling it in 3 months. So we'll see. That's probably gonna be a big slew of titles. So right now we're only gonna talk about the games that have actually been announced. So we're not gonna talk about unannounced 3D Mario coming to Switch 2 because they haven't talked about it. We don't even know what's coming out. So we're gonna start with the games that are dated. We'll talk about a few that aren't dated, but this is gonna be a pretty quick list. So we're also gonna give you some predictions, our top predictions of what games and hardware and all that stuff will be coming out in 2025. We'll see what the winner is going to get something special to TBD. Okay, so let's kick it off. The first game that I noticed on this list, we're using the GameSpot 2025 upcoming games release schedule. The first game I noticed that I wanted to bring up was Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. Unlike the GameSpot list says, it is not coming to PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X, Xbox One, and PC. It is only coming to Switch on January 16th.
I think hell will freeze over first. Or you better have a hell of an emulator.
I love it. I get it. It's hard to make a million lists and have all these things, but it's funny to have 6 consoles for Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. Did you ever play the original, the Wii game, Donkey Kong Country Returns?
I did, yes.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I didn't like the waggle motion, so I didn't get very far. And then I picked it up on 3DS, but I always felt like I was getting like the worst version of the game because it was like lower resolution, and even though it like added stuff, I just never felt like it was like definitive. So I'm going on a long trip coming this weekend, and the game comes out probably about the time you're listening to this with how late we've been putting these up. So I will probably pick it up. I love Tropical Freeze, and I'm going to have 14 hours on a flight there and then 14 hours coming back. And pretty much all I normally do is play Steam Deck and Switch. And besides Prince Persia Lost Crown and a few others, like I normally am a big, like, if I get a new game, that's kind of like just wait. I mean, that's how I finished Kirby and the Forgotten Lands. I went to Hawaii and finished that game in like 2 flight trips. So, are you going to pick this one up or no?
Probably not yet. I'm going to wait to see how it looks before, and of course the response before I do. By the way, Prince of Persia Lost Crown,
which is
I was going to say Prince of Persia, I think, is also on sale at Target for $20. If I'm not mistaken,
it's on sale everywhere all the time, like Ubisoft games. So if you are looking for Prince of Persia, go pick it up at Target, like Gerald said, or if you want a digital copy, I think currently it's on Steam for $20, but it's on sale. I've seen it on sale on almost every console for $20 multiple times. So it's a Ubisoft game. They just keep dropping the price, right? So it's sadly for their company, it devalues their games because they're just always there. We got joined by a despised one. Speak for yourself, despised one. Despised one is muted.
Yes.
And we cannot hear them.
He is very muted.
Despised one, we just finished talking about Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. You have nothing to say about it, so unless you change your mind, we will move on to Dynasty Warriors Origins. But before we move on, I do want to say Donkey Kong Country Returns HD is a $60 title. That is one ridiculous thing. It is I don't even know how old it is. It's at least 15 years old.
Why should this surprise you
$60.
anymore? Why should this surprise you anymore?
It's just crazy. You know what I mean? It's a little crazy. Like, I think $30-$40 I could see. But like $60, like I was upset when Tropical Freeze dropped for $60 on Switch. And that was like a definitive port of a fairly recent game because it was $10 more than the Wii U version. Yeah. So it made sense. Anyways, it is what it is. I'll probably pick it up. Next game, Dynasty Warriors Origins, come to PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC the day after, January 17th. Gerald is loving this game. I did see the reviews today. It seems like it's pretty good. Is it something that's piquing your interest or no?
A little bit, yeah. I want to see how it goes first. When I evaluate it before you make those purchases, because like you said, you're spending $30, $40, $50, $60, $70 these days.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure before you allocate those funds that you get the money's worth. Plus, my time. It's just so hard producing 3 shows. Yep. And then like last week, I was at CES for all week, so it's really hard for me to go ahead and find time outside of what I'm doing now. I'm still trying to mow my way down through Indiana Jones and spend a lot more time there, and then trying to evolve into what's upcoming next. I know there's some good stuff coming out in February I'm looking into. I know that they just delayed Assassin's Creed again.
Yeah.
So, like you said, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It's something I'm looking forward to. I just got 1 free, so I'm looking forward to playing through that before I get through 2 as well. So,
yeah, I mean, there's before we get to Kingdom Come, there's one more game I want to discuss in January because I forgot about this one when we were talking pre-show. But there was an indie game that came out about 2 or 3 years ago called Tales of Iron. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where you play as like a mouse. It looks like a Redwall game. It's like a 2D Soul style game, but you play as a mouse.
I've heard of it, but did not see it.
Okay. Anyways, it was really fun. I played quite a bit of it. I didn't finish it because it's a really difficult game, but they're releasing the sequel, Tales of Iron 2, The Whiskers of Winter. And one of the big things about the game is it's got the voice acting by Gerald. Geralt. I mean, sorry. Geralt.
I didn't know Gerald, I did it.
Gerald.
Where's my paycheck? Where's my check?
Yeah. Geralt of Rivia is the voice actor. No, I forgot his name. Doug Cockle, I want to say.
Okay.
He's the narrator for the game. So that's kind of like where it got a lot of press. Was like, oh, hey, he's narrating this game. But that's coming out to PS5, PS4, Series XS, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on the 28th of January. And honestly, like, depending on the reviews, it's another game I may pick up. This year's like a weird one. I feel like a lot like 2024. Unless a bunch of stuff gets announced, this is going to be a year of like a bunch of indie games and a handful of AAAs that I absolutely adore. I ended up obviously being about like 6 or 7 AAAs I ended up loving in 2024, but right now that list is looking a little quiet. So you actually brought this one up a minute ago. February 4th, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 for PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Are you going to play it?
I'm really thinking about this one. I really would like to. The thing though, Brank, when it comes to Kingdom Come Deliverance and 2, because I did see that extensive preview on IGN. Those facial animations, do they make you crack up when you see Kingdom Come Deliverance? And hold on, I'm gonna look.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, he came in just to talk about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Let's give him some weird facial animations.
This has been like the worst. All right, trying to figure out what is going on with my computer. I've a Mac from 2012 and it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. He
loves his Mac from 2012. It's his favorite thing he's ever had, and he's very thankful that he gets to talk about his favorite game of all time, Kingdom Come Deliverance. Which, if you are a longtime listener, you will remember it was the only game that we bought for the Super BS Game Club, and I think most of us put about 10 minutes into it.
It was honestly, it was pretty stinking boring.
Yeah. Well, I don't think any of us got past the intro, man.
It was difficult and it was not fun, and I think that's why I stopped playing it. But we got on there and I wanted to pretend like I really liked it.
It is funny though, because like we all like pooled together money to buy games, so we'd all have the same games to talk about. But because we only bought one game each time, we had to like pass it around. So it was like us each talking about the same game. That will be something I'll always fondly remember. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, though, I think it looks great. Like everybody on this podcast, I did not play much of one. I played that original thing. I've thought about picking up one multiple times. It's been like $5 on Steam for the deluxe edition.
It was free during Epic's run. I will say they were giving gifts out. I believe at the end of the year they get like over 16 days. I think that was one thing I picked up that was free.
Yeah, you can find it. I mean, literally if you have to pay for it, you can find it for $5 all the time. But it is a game that, like we just mentioned, it's kind of like Stalker. Like I turned on Stalker 2 recently. It's a game that is fighting against you. There is no save system. Like the only way to save is to like sleep or to like drink a potion. So you can't save wherever you want.
It's pacing.
Can't get these potions easily. Yeah. Has pacing issues. It's like it fights the player on almost everything. It's not like not consumer friendly, if you will, right? It's not made for somebody who wants to like play 20 minutes and hop off immediately or whatever. It's made for somebody who's like going to put hours of time into it, learning the sword play and trying to get your medieval warrior, like a role-playing experience. The next big title for February, Sid Meier's Civilization 7. This one used to be a PC-only title. Now it's coming to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Switch on February 11th. Are any of you guys big 4X men? 4X men. No.
4X-Men. X-Men forever.
I wish I liked 4X. I do like strategy games. 4X is like those ultra convoluted strategy games where you're doing multiple different things. I forgot it's like explore, exterminate. I forgot what the X's all stand for. But it is I don't know. It's a very popular series. It's going to sell millions and millions and millions and millions of copies, and people are going to put hundreds of hours into it. And we will have nothing interesting to say about it, most likely, but it will be popular. Okay, next title, and this is one I think we're all going to probably dip into. Avowed, coming to Xbox Series X and S and PC on February 18th. You guys excited for this one?
Yeah, actually, I've been looking forward to this one for a while.
I've been on a journey with that one. The first trailer, I loved. I was hooked. And then the second trailer came out, which looked completely different from the first, and I was like, maybe not.
It looks a lot different, yeah, from how it started.
And then it started to progress back to the means as far as it being an approachable game for me to go ahead and say, yeah, I'll give it some definite time. So
yeah, I'm hoping I love it, but I had a lot of issues with the previous game they made, Outer Worlds. I liked the first like 10 or 15, maybe even up to 20 hours of it, but I stopped playing it midway through and I never turned it on again. So it's hard for me to be super excited. I do think it's going to be a great game. One nice thing with Game Pass and being a subscriber is I'm going to play it. You know what I mean?
And so how are they doing Outer Worlds 2 in the same year as...
it's craziness. I don't have a clue. I don't know how they're going to... I don't think Outer Worlds 2 is a 2025
twice as
game.
many staff as Ninja Theory does. That's how they're doing it.
That is it. Yeah, Ninja Theory takes, not even 5 years. It was probably like 7 years or 8 years to make one game. That's 3 hours where you walk around and people yell at you and scream in your ears the whole time. And
you scream at yourself, too.
And Obsidian, yeah, you scream at yourself. And Obsidian makes 2 games in 1 year, supposedly. If we were doing predictions on what's going to get delayed, which we maybe need to do. Maybe we'll do that as just like a thing to talk about at the end when we get to the undated games. That is a game I do not think is coming out. So that's something we'll do. We will do that on this episode. That is a fun thing to do. When we get to the games that are dated, we will talk about the likelihood that any of them are going to release, because there are going to be a bunch that I don't think are coming in 2025 that have a 2025 window right now. But the next 2025 title that I do think is coming out, and if you guys disagree, you let me know, is Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, which comes out February 25th. I've talked at great length about how much I love the Like a Dragon and Yakuza series here. I'm getting it day one. I don't know if you guys saw their trailer recently. It is so funny looking. It looks like it's going to be so much fun. Essentially Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but with the Yakuza series. Are you going to try it or no? Gerald?
Yeah, I've been debating going back and playing... was the first one that came out
Yakuza 0 or
No, like a dragon.
Yo, Like a Dragon. So Yakuza 7, Like a Dragon.
So
Okay,
this
Yeah,
is
I
a
agree. Go
standalone
back and play
DLC? Is this a standalone game?
No, it's a standalone game. It's like a spin-off sub-story. So like the main Like a Dragon games are now turn-based RPGs. But the spin-off games like Judgment, Lost Judgment, which are about like a detective, and then this one, which is closer to like a Dragon Gaiden, Man Who Erased His Name, the last game that starred Kiryu. These are like spin-offs where they're also the brawler style, which still has RPG elements, but it's like a fast-paced action brawler. And then this one, you are also building a crew to do ship battles. So it's very, very similar to Like a Dragon, Gaiden, Man Who Erased His Name. If you like look at their videos, it looks like it's going to play almost identically, except for it has ship battles as well. But I loved that game, and that game was the fastest Like a Dragon. It was probably 20 hours, 15, 20 hours length, so it was perfect. It was like a actually doable game. Most of their games are 80 hours, so it was nice to play those 15, 20. Are you guys going to get this next biggie? Monster Hunter Wilds, PS5, Xbox Series X, PC, February 28th. Gerald, you shook your head like you love it.
I do not love it. I don't know why. Monster Hunter seems like it's something I'd like to get into, but just never. I don't know, just always something holding me back from the Monster Hunter series. I don't know why. It's not a turn-based RPG. It's not something I would normally say no to. I don't know. I'll take a look at this one. I'll take a look at it. Monster Hunter, though, is never really appealing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm there with you. I think it's the lack of the RPG systems in there. But Janky, are you gonna pick it up and play it?
No, probably not. No, I mean, I honestly though, like I wasn't interested in the other one. I think I bought it on sale at Best Buy and I played it for, all of 3 hours and just decided that was not for me.
Oh, and we lost to Gerald. Hopefully he'll be back before you know it. But yeah, I am hoping that. Oh, there he is. Whew, we were worried.
Pulling a jank, man.
I'm hoping that Monster Hunter Wilds is great. I'm hoping I get into it. It's probably going to be one of the biggest selling games this year if GTA 6 gets postponed, which I believe it will. I think Monster Hunter Wilds might be the big selling game, like the Hogwarts Legacy of the year. But yeah, I don't know. If it doesn't add any progression elements, and I don't think they've talked about adding any like stat increases outside of armor creation, blacksmithing. Like, I don't know. That's just not my favorite way, is like kill the same monster 20 times to get the right pieces of materials so you can craft the right thing, right? Like, I just didn't like that. Didn't like doing that in WoW. Don't like that in anything. We're wrapping up almost on the games that have dates. That's how weird this year is. Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster, Gate Rune, and Dunan Unification Wars. This is coming to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. You noticed no PS5 or Series X, but you can play them backwards compatibly. It's on March 6th. Are you guys going to play this, the old turn-based RPG from PS1 era?
Yeah, I planned on it, actually. I enjoyed playing them when they originally came out. I just haven't... I didn't know when this game was dropping, so
March. I think it's gonna be great. Gerald shook his head emphatically yes, so he will actually be the
Suikoden. No.
He's the big fan, so he's gonna give us the deep dive.
I am allergic to turn-based RPGs. I'm just gonna have my doctor is prescribing me no turn-based RPGs for you, young man. There you go.
Okay, so this one is the biggie. This was the one I think we were all excited for, but I'm becoming less and less excited the more that they postpone it. Assassin's Creed Shadows, coming to PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on March 20th. It was originally a February 14th or 15th title. It was previous month. They decided, hey, it needs another month in the oven. What on earth is going on with this game? Do you guys know, like, why do they keep postponing it, and what is a month even going to do? Why are they doing this? To me, I lose confidence every time they talk about that game.
They're saying because they want to better polish it, but also
what can you do in a month? Fix the fonts?
Here's the thing: 2 delays in a row makes it seem like it's not ready to be released yet.
Yeah, I'm quite worried about that game. That was like a game that if like last year when we found out it was announced was going to be a day one buy because I was ready for it. I'm getting more and more concerned that I'm not going to pick this up like Outlaws, like Star Wars Outlaws, which I was also thinking was going to be a day one buy till I saw more and more about it. Gerald, are you still on the boat of buying it, or
I was
is
really
this stuff
on the
kind
boat
of turning
because
your way?
I have not really been keen on Assassin's Creed since Black Flag, and
Okay.
I did try Unity with the disappearing face and just the eyes.
Yeah.
And then
Played
that
one too.
totally turned me off for a while, even though I've talked to Josh about over the years his progression in the Assassin's Creed series. This was the first Assassin's Creed I wanted to say I've been interested in quite some time. But you're right, with these ever increasing delays and such small delays, I understand putting it in February was probably a miscalculation on Ubisoft's part, anyways, because February is a congested month for video games. So whoever did that in hindsight probably needs to be fired. But moving it to March, if they say just, you know what, be honest. If it's for polish, it's for polish, okay. But if it's just because you want to move it off of because it's a very contested February, just say that. Just say, hey, look, we don't want to get our game confused with any other Kingdom Come Deliverance or any of the other games, the Monster Hunter or anything like that. Go ahead, have your fun with those games in February. We'll see you in March. And when you want to go ahead and make this the game of your month, then. Simple as that.
Yeah,
but I am worried.
Just there's something that seems funky about this one, man. I was already when they announced that they were doing two separate characters and one is stealth and one is like not stealth. I don't already love that. I would rather them go the Cassandro Alexio route of Odyssey, where it's just like you're just choosing a character based on cosmetics and then you can decide whatever you want to do. Right? If I want to play Yasuke, that's great. I don't like the idea of like, what if I'm playing as, I think her name's Noe, or I don't know how to pronounce it, but the female ninja warrior. What if I play as her and then I get into like a combat scenario, right? Like I understand that you're supposed to be stealth and she's not maybe going to be the best for all the stuff, but there's a lot of stuff I'm concerned about on top of the fact that it just, I don't know. It's a hot button topic too, I guess, because of Yasuke and the actual history not being like they said. There's just a ton of people coming out of the woodworks about this stuff, right?
Oh, that he wasn't actually a samurai? Is that because that seems to be the main argument I'm hearing online.
Yeah. It's I don't even think it's that he wasn't a samurai. He just was like a super lowly dude. He wasn't like, so there, because there's like the historian who was working with the Ubisoft, I think said he was like the second in command to Nobunaga or whatever, who was like the very renowned warlord, right, from Japan. You've heard about him in a ton of other games. I think and I'm not sure, I'm not a historian, I don't know at all, but I believe the history actually is Yasuke was there. He was traded as a slave, I believe, into Japan and served as like a servant and I believe maybe a lowly samurai. But he was not like a daimyo or whatever, not a daimyo or whatever, like the higher person that they said he was.
Yeah,
I mean, that means
he was
whatever.
A curiosity is what a lot of the articles I was reading about it said. He was more of Nobunaga was really fascinated by him.
Yeah, and I think like for me, a lot of the upset people over here, I don't care as much about because it's not our culture anyways, our history.
Yeah.
But I do think the fact that it's stirring up a lot of controversy in Japan also is not a good sign, right? Like they're not stoked. And I don't know if it's about Yasuke only or like, I don't know if you guys saw, they made like this thing with the Torii Gate that references World War II. Anyways, there's like a lot of controversies around this game. This game is like, I feel bad for Ubisoft, man. This is probably the end of them. We will probably hear about Ubisoft's consolidation into Tencent or whatever happens to them before this game even launches. This is just like, this has been such a crazy storm for them the last 2 years. The last game with a date that I thought we should bring up was a game called Atom Fall, coming up to PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, PC on March 27th. Do you guys remember this one? It's kind of like the Fallout-looking UK based game.
I know of it.
A little bit like BioShock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's good. I got, I forgot what it was called. It was the Russian-made game that came out in 2023 at the very beginning. It was on Game Pass. Atomic Heart. I wanted to love Atomic Heart. I played about probably 3 or 4 hours of it and fell off very quickly. I did not play anymore, and I don't think I'll ever play Atomic Heart again. I had just enough jank that it wasn't fun. I'm hoping Atom Fall is the game I wished Atomic Heart would have been. But yeah, honestly, with that, that's all the games that we have a date for that aren't just like small indies that I don't think we have interest in. So let's talk about the undated games, our interest in them, and if you guys think they'll be postponed, right? So I think the biggie, and like, please call out something if I miss it. The big one that I think about first is Doom: The Dark Ages. We're getting, we know we're getting an Xbox Developer Direct here
23rd,
in, I believe, next week, right? Yeah, next week.
10 days from now.
2 weeks. 10 days. So 2 weeks from now. And yeah, I think that is going to solidify Doom: The Dark Ages coming out in the first half of the year. What do you guys think? You guys think it's coming out this year? You guys
think it's a May. I think
pushed
it's a
to
May.
May title? Janky, you got any skin in this game?
I'm looking at October, man. I mean, that's when the other Dooms have traditionally dropped. But also,
no. Doom Eternal came out in
fall games usually.
Doom Eternal came out in March of 2020. I don't remember when Doom 2016 came out, but I believe it was also a summer game, if I remember.
No, okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's I
May 13th was Doom's.
I assume it'll come out this year. I mean, I don't feel like they're like development heavy games. So if they're looking to push something out, I feel like Doom's the game to do.
It looked
and
good,
I mean, they've had 5 years. Yeah, it does look great. It is an interesting one because it's the first game that Microsoft is releasing day and date on PS5 that I can think of out of their big lineup besides Call of Duty, right? That they did not have to release on PS5. So it's kind of the first third-party game. Because I'm a Game Pass subscriber, I'm definitely going to play it day one because it's coming to Game Pass Ultimate. But yeah, it's an interesting one. Are you guys pretty excited? Are you on the fence? Like, what is your feeling about it? You going to try? I'm assuming both of you will try it anyways just because it's part of the service.
Yeah, I will. I'll give it a try.
Jank, are you interested in it or?
I never played the last one, so I think maybe I need to sit down and play that first.
I don't feel like these games have any story where you need to play any of them to enjoy them. They're just like run around and kill every single thing on screen. Okay, well, anyways, the next one that I think is kind of interesting, it's worth at least talking about, is, let me find it, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, coming to PS5. We saw that trailer. It was insane. I want to say it was in 2023 for the Game Awards, maybe? But it was just like a wild trailer with like a puppet that's moving at different frame rates. I'm torn. I did not love Death Stranding 1. I didn't get very far, and I didn't love the concept, and I don't know if I'll ever finish it. But I do love Kojima and his games because they're always wild and crazy. Are you guys going to play this one?
Maybe. I bought the last one, and I played it for a little bit, and it was intriguing, but not a game where I was like, oh, yeah, I really want to play this to the end. So,
okay. Do you think it's coming out in 2025?
No, probably not. I think it'll be 2026.
Okay, what about you, Gerald? You playing it, and is it coming out?
I'm gonna listen to Josh try it first. I'm gonna see if he delve his toes into the water, so to speak, and I know he'll let me know here on the Cosmos, and if that's the case, and he really encourages me to do it, who knows?
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, I hope it's good. So this one was announced at the Xbox Games Showcase in June. Claire Obscure Expedition 33, I believe it's called. It's coming to PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. I believe it's coming to Game Pass day one. It's that turn-based RPG, Gerald's favorite style game, that looked really like a high-end Final Fantasy. Do you guys remember what I'm talking about?
Yep.
I'm hoping it's awesome. I do think that it looked phenomenal, but just because things look good in trailers doesn't always mean they actually play well or are fun. Are you guys, couple questions as always, do you guys think it's coming out in 2025? And are you excited? For me, I do not think it's 2025 release. I think it will be pushed back.
I think it's 2026. I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope it comes out fall of this year, but regardless, it does look great. I mean, this was probably my top game that I saw, during that
showcase.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it looks really good. I don't believe it's coming out. The next game that I'm excited for, but I don't know if either of you will play it, Elden Ring Night Reign, the spin-off, standalone, multiplayer, roguelike, whatever nonsense it is, for coming to PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC. I do think this is coming out in 2025 because it doesn't seem like it's a full game. It seems like it's a multiplayer style thing. I don't think I'm going to like it as much as Elden Ring, but I do think I'll try it anyways because they've earned it. Are you guys going to play this, and do you think it's coming out in 2025, Gerald?
I'm intimidated by Elden Ring because I just think it's just so hard to play. It's just so, it has such the DNA of Souls games, and it just so cruel to you and unforgiving. And the fact that I'm still mad that the fact you can't play the DLC until you reach a certain plateau and kill a certain number of bosses in the game, when the game is really hard to begin with. By that time, playing a 2-player co-op, even though from the get-go this game should have been a 2-player co-op, I just at this point I don't think anything will get me into Elden Ring, because I think Elden Ring, for me, I would have asked, if I'm going to play it, if I'm going to get it, I'm going to ask someone to go ahead along with me, because I need all the help I could get on that type of game.
And to make it even harder for you, Gerald, it doesn't support 2-player co-op. It only supports 3-player co-op.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. 2 or 3-player co-op. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't support 2-player. That's what the funny thing is, if I remember reading correctly.
It doesn't support 2, but just 3. It has to be 3. Oh, is it 2?
Yeah.
But if you don't have a third, that's just going to give you a bot.
No, I don't know.
No?
It just says you can play with a group of 3 or by yourself, but not in a duo.
Okay.
That was all they could do. So it is a weird game.
I thought we were in 2025.
Online
I'm
queuing.
so sorry. I thought we were in 2025.
Yeah, we're in 2025. Janky, are you picking it up?
No.
Is it coming out?
I mean, I assume it would. Maybe they wouldn't show video of it if they didn't have it, at a point where it was going to release this year. But anyways, Elden Ring is like having a friend invite you to go jogging, and then they kick you in the shins and then want you to keep going.
That is exactly what it's like. It's a person who kicks you in the shins while you're jogging. It's not like that at all.
You have to keep running, you pansy.
It's a very rewarding, deep RPG with incredible combat. No, I mean, honestly though, I can't sing its praises enough. One of my favorite games of all time. And the exploration is just insane. But we'll move on to the next fun thing. I'm excited for this one, but I don't believe it's going to come out in 2025. Fable. We know it's supposed to come out to Xbox Series X and S and PC. We don't know about PS5 yet. I cannot wait to play it. I don't think it's coming out in 2026. Gerald, let us know what your interest level is and if it's coming out in 2025.
Medium and 2026.
Okay. Janky?
2026, and I am excited. I love the Fable games.
Me too.
I don't know how different this one's going to be.
Oh, the Office Fable.
What?
Because of the trailer.
Yeah, with the interviews, he's talking about. I remember
because it
that.
does it on the mockumentary style.
Yeah, yep. I hope it keeps its its progression system and its humor in there intact.
Kick some chickens.
Without trying to be as controversial as Dragon Age was. But I mean, Fable's a pretty simple formula. You rinse and repeat. Even though it's been years since the last one came out, I think people will still enjoy that style of game.
Yeah, I can't wait to play it. I thought all the trailers have just been so funny and so much fun. And all of the Fables I've played, I played 1, 2, and I never finished 3, but I played about half of it. They were all fun. They were all just like great games to play. I don't even know. Yeah. I think I only didn't play 3 because it came out like a weird time. It came out like right after 2, if I remember. Did it come out like a year after 2? Like,
yeah,
it was coming out like super quick.
They were working on them back to back, it felt like.
Yeah, it was like super strange. The next one, Ghost of Yote, coming out to PS5. I've heard this is a 2025 title. I am still skeptical. I could definitely see this getting postponed to 2026. But if that does happen, it begs the question, what is PlayStation going to release this year if they don't have Ghost of Yote or Death Stranding 2 on the beach? So I don't know. What do you guys think? Gerald, are you excited to play it? I love Ghost of what is it? Tsushima? Ghost of
Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima. I love that game. It was one of my favorite games of 2020. I'm excited for this, but do you think, 1, is it coming out this year, and 2, are you excited?
I think it is coming out this year. I don't have a PS5. Thing is, if they don't have any releases, they'll just release a higher end console to make up for it. Yes, with no games that can really support it. But with the anime now announced for Ghost of Tsushima, I think that's full. They're all in on the Ghost series. So I think it's coming out in 2025.
Ooh, Janky, what do you think, man? Are you excited? And do you think it's coming out this year?
I'm cautiously optimistic. I really love Ghost of Tsushima. It's probably one of my top games of whatever that year was that it came out. But Ghost of Yotai, I don't know if I'm that thrilled about it because I was really hoping it'd pick up the story of what was his name, June in Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
I was really hoping it would follow more of his journey, but I guess we're not gonna get that. So I'm gonna go into it and I'm gonna keep an open mind, but I don't know if this is I'm not as excited about it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's incredible. I'm always a little skeptical when you get rid of your main protagonist, like you said, Jin Sakai. Like, it just kind of, it doesn't rub me the wrong way, but it did feel like they were setting up for a sequel. That's what I thought, at least, when I finished Ghost of Tsushima. So it does feel like a rug pull when they're like, oh, hey, guess what? It's not about Jin Sakai anymore. It's about totally somebody else 100 years in the future. And you're like, okay, well, I'm sure it's going to be incredible. I'm excited to play it, but it does kind of take a lot of the wind out of the sails of like, hey, I actually really liked the story of Ghost of Tsushima. This next one, this is the biggie of the year. If it releases, it will be the biggest selling game of all time. Grand Theft Auto 6 coming to PS5, Xbox Series X and S, no PC. At least not right now. I do not think this game will come out in 2025. I'm excited to play it, but there is no chance in H that it's coming out in 2025. Janky, what do you think? 2025, and are you going to play it?
It'll be 2026, and honestly, man, this is gonna make me sound really unpopular with the folks at home, but I'm not interested in Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, really? You're already unpopular, and now no one likes you. So
you know what? You know what? No, I don't know, man. Like I remember, I bought the last one. I took it home. Everyone that all my friends were playing it. I jumped on, played with them. I don't. It's not an interesting game to me. It's not an interesting world. It's not something that I gravitate towards. So, I mean, maybe I'll play it. Maybe someone will be like, "Hey, let's check this out and I'll get on there and love it." But like, I just traditionally have not loved the Grand Theft Auto games very much.
Okay, that's the wrong answer, but okay. Gerald, is it coming out in 2025? And are you excited to play it?
No, it's not coming out in 2025. I think something's going to happen where it's going to delay it into 26. Although advantageously with the Switch 2 coming out, it would be advantageous for it. When the Switch 2 would be a great launch title would be GTA to coincide with it. That'd be just like a slap in the face to Sony. And but
I just don't see it running on the Switch 2. Like, I think it's going to barely run on the PS5 Pro.
Yeah,
I have a feeling this game it looks so intensive, graphically intensive, and I've been dinking around as a cowboy in Red Dead 2, and that game is still beautiful today, and it runs now better on the Series X because it wasn't really made for the Xbox One.
I'll just say this. I'm more of a GTA 4 fan than GTA 5. I had many a day that I spent in race mode. I loved actually just riding around the New York City equivalent in there, and it was really a lot of fun. GTA 5, I did buy. I was like, okay, it's stuff. And there's so many things that you can do with it. So I respect the vision that they have, that you can create so much as far as in the regular base game or online. But I'm not with you guys on it. I know you started off and you prefaced the conversation with it being it's going to be the biggest selling game of all time. Remember, it can sell 100 million units and still not be the biggest selling game of all time. So I think before I say and commit to that, I think it can sell 70, 80, 90 million copies. Yes, I think it can definitely sell that. It can sell 100 million copies. Yes. Do I think it'll become the biggest selling game of all time? Even though it will have the hype, it will have the advertising, it will have the support. We'll see where I guess attention spans of gamers. Will they just migrate back to Fortnite? Will they just go ahead and migrate to something else and get off of GTA 6? That's to be seen. I think the way it's looking, like you said, because it's so graphically intensive and we don't have the consoles to support it, I think it's going to be a hurdle for them to overcome as far as making it to that level of sales wise. But I do think 70 to 100 million sales is definitely within reach.
I mean, just so you guys have the updated sales, I don't know when this was updated, but Grand Theft Auto 5 has sold 205 million copies.
Oh, that's all.
So it is the second best-selling game of all time, right after Minecraft, which has sold 300 million copies. To give you, though, an example, Red Dead 2, their game that they released after Grand Theft Auto 5, sold 67 million. So it was quite a far drop.
So let's say 100 to 150 million then. Let's say I'd say that's a good ballpark for it. I just, to sell 200 million again, everything has to go right for it. And I'm just not sure everything will go right in 2025, 2026. We've seen so many big releases like this, like Cyberpunk, where there's so much anticipation and sales ahead of time. And it was destined, it looked like it was, with a good start, it would look like it was destined to be a 70 to 100 million seller itself. And they blew it with their start and the refunds and all that. They eventually made it a game that could have been worthy of that. But had they made it out of the box, out of the get-go, that's a whole different story. So, yeah,
they also repackaged the last Grand Theft Auto quite a few times, too.
And they were very good about how they approached its longevity with the online, how they repackaged all the DLC for it, repackaged modes for it over the years. They kept it alive. Will they be as successful doing the same thing with GTA 6? I'm going to say no, but by God, if you get 150 million in sales, only Rockstar will be disappointed, and 2K will be disappointed with that.
Yeah, I'm still thinking it might even beat Grand Theft Auto 5 sales when it comes out. But we'll see. I mean, there's not as many of these new consoles sold as there were and GTA 5 was released over 3 console generations. So it will take forever to get above GTA 5 if it's able to. This next one, and we got a few more, and then we're going to stop probably for the day. We're going to have to push back our predictions because this is going a little bit off.
I predict we're going to push back our prediction show.
Man, how'd you get that prediction right, man? We owe you money because that's you got that prediction 100% right. Okay, so this next one, again, is it coming out in 2025? And are you excited to play it? Judas for PS5, Series X, PC. Janky, are you excited for Judas? And will it release this year?
BioShock
Which one was that?
BioShock
Judas,
Creator.
BioShock creator Ken Levine.
Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know much about this game. So
okay. I'm sorry. I thought it was. I love the BioShock series. So
I love BioShock. Yeah, and if it's good, I'll if I gotta look more into it. I mean, it looks cool, but yeah, I mean, I'll definitely pick it up. I don't know if it's gonna come out this year. They've been talking about it for a while, but when it does, I'll play it.
Okay, Gerald.
With Ken Levine, I mean, obviously something you want to look into, but I'm going off of one trailer, essentially, and it's a CG trailer. Yeah. I really do not like to go based off of one CG trailer to say whether or not it's going to be a hit or. I mean, good. Concord. Can we say more?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah, Concord is the best game ever right now.
Exactly.
They only had one CG.
But again, there was people were going into it off of like 1 or 2 CG trailers, and it's like so. I mean, should I trust Ken Levine? I don't want to trust the Ken Levine because so much has happened since BioShock. BioShock Infinite was truly a wonderful ride as well. I'm going to say I'm interested. I'm intrigued, but I'd have to see it first again because we're basing it off of one CG trailer, and I really want to see more before I make up my mind.
Yeah, I don't think it's coming out this year. I still think it will be pretty good. I don't think it's coming from like a big developer, so I'm always worried about the jank that comes from like AAA games that aren't made by somebody who has a ton of experience.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still pretty excited. Okay, this next one, and we're going to do this one quick. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond for Switch. I think this will come out in 2025, and I think we're just not having the date because the Switch 2 Direct hasn't come out yet. Gerald, do you think this one's coming this year?
They need to. It needs to come out.
Yeah.
It needs to come out as a holiday release or day one release for the Switch 2. A Switch 2.
Isn't it crazy?
It needs support. The Switch 2 needs support. Is what I'll say.
Yeah, isn't it crazy? It was announced in 2017 originally.
No.
It was announced the year the Switch launched, and now it's 2025. We still don't have.
Nothing surprises me anymore in the world of video games.
Yeah,
especially from Nintendo.
That is true. Yeah, weird Nintendo decisions. Jank, what about you? Do you think it's coming out this year?
2026, man.
You think it's 2026?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they've been pushing this game back so many times, and I don't think it's ready yet. I don't think it's ready. I think the bun is still in the oven and it needs more time to cook, man.
Okay, another Nintendo one for you guys. Quick one. Pokemon Legends ZA. It's a pizza-based version. I think it's coming out this year. I think Nintendo is going to have tons of big guns shooting nonstop. And I love Pokemon Legends Arceus. Talked about it on the Super BS show years ago. Love it. What do you guys think? Are you excited for it? Or do you think it's going to come out this year? This Pokemon Legends ZA.
Metroid is a name, but it's not a mover. Pokemon and Mario and Zelda are the movers for them. I mean, you had a Zelda last year. You had a plethora of Mario titles all over, but a main Mario and a Pokemon game coming out with a Nintendo Switch 2, and you've got yourself a good year for Nintendo.
And yeah, that's not even discussing like the unannounced games that could come, like Mario 3D, Mario Kart, whatever else, right? Josh, coming out? Are you excited? Are you going to play it?
Yeah, 2025. I am excited. I am going to say something controversial. I think we're going to get 3 Pokemon games this year.
No. What?
Yep.
What do you think the 3 are?
ZA, and I think we're going to get a remake of one of the older Pokemon titles.
You just got a prediction there on the Not Prediction show.
Yeah, I know. This is.
I know. I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself here, but
you can save it for the next prediction show.
Just wait and see.
No, that's cool though. Yeah, that's big news, man. You heard it here first. Okay, 3 Pokemon games. Jank said he promised his life on it that 3Ms would release. Okay, honestly, I've been looking through the rest of these. Is there any game that I missed that you guys want to talk about that you think is interesting that is currently a 2025 dated or thought? Like, I guess we could discuss Perfect Dark. I don't think it has a shot in hell of coming out in 2025. I think it's a 2026 title for sure. I think
Borderlands, man. Borderlands.
Yeah, well, I guess so. I forgot about Borderlands. Yeah, it's everybody's favorite game. Are you going to play Borderlands 4, Josh?
Heck yeah.
Is it going to come out this year, though?
Heck yeah. When did the Borderlands 3 came out in
2019.
No, I know. What was the month that came out? I don't remember.
September, I want to say.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think this game's going to come out, and I hope it's going to be good. Because if this game is not good, I think the Borderlands franchise is going to be.
Yeah, it is crazy how
it
went from like Borderlands 2 being the biggest hype game ever to like Borderlands 3 people think is okay. And so now it's like this is the ride or die, right? Because it just the total consensus change over one game. What do you think, Gerald?
Not really. I love Borderlands. Borderlands 2, okay for me. And then my interest just jumped off from there. And then, of course, the movie came out and I think has essentially damaged the franchise beyond repair. It's going to take a Game of the Year level revival from 2K in order to get Borderlands back up into where it can be a successful IP once again.
I think Randy Pitchford is actually just needs to be kicked out of that company because he creates nothing but bad publicity.
Yeah, man, everything with Borderlands is so weird. Okay, so I went through the comments of this GameSpot stuff, and there's a couple more we need to talk about before we quit today. This one is crazy that GameSpot didn't put this on their list. Where was it? Metal Gear Delta. I actually think Metal Gear Delta will be coming out this year. This is the remake of Metal Gear Solid 3. It's crazy it wasn't on that list. I believe it's going to come out in the fall of this year, and I'm super excited for that game. You guys going to think it's coming out? You're going to play it?
Maybe. I honestly, man, like I've been off the Metal Gear's bandwagon since PS1.
Same here.
Really? Okay. So Metal Gear Solid. The next one that was mentioned on here, South of Midnight. Xbox has showed this multiple times.
Right.
I'm kind of excited for it. It's Game Pass, so I'll play it anyways.
I think it'll come out later this year. I think it's like a fall release. Yeah. That's what I'm guessing at.
I could see summer. Like a July, August, maybe fall, like I said, maybe like a September. Another one that wasn't on this list.
It looks beautiful, though. It looks like a really cool game.
Another one that's not on this list, which, good Lord, GameSpot, you really need to get your stuff together. Mafia: The Old Country, coming to PS5, Xbox Series X, S, and PC. Do you guys think this one's coming out in 2025? This is also owned by Take-Two, the people who own GTA 6.
I think if GTA 6 does not come out, Mafia will come out, and vice versa. I think they did show gameplay on this trailer, on the trailer that they had.
Yeah.
So, I'm liking what I see, but I'm not loving what I see, if that makes sense. I don't know how well-paced it will be, because it seems like it will have its, because it's based in the old country, I don't know how well-paced it will be, but I am intrigued by it, to say the least. But I think if Mafia comes out or it gets announced for the date, I believe GTA will definitely not come out, vice versa.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious what the game's going to be. I've not been a huge Mafia fan. I want to love it. I own the trilogy. I picked it up on one of the sales. It's just not my cup of tea, really. I turn it on and I just almost immediately lose interest. So it's like, which is crazy because I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2 right now, which is one of the slowest games in the history of all games, where you just kind of ride around on a horse. And there's sometimes where nothing will happen and you're just kind of experiencing nature. But I feel like Mafia, there's less that happens.
Josh?
So,
yeah. Oh yeah, sorry. I'm like Brank. I played the original one, and I don't know. It wasn't thrilling enough to me to want to. But this new one does look cool. Like it does. Watching the trailer, it does look really cool. So maybe I'll jump back into it. I don't know, but yeah, the original one was just it was very slow.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what's going to happen. Overall, I feel very uncertain about this entire year. That's why we're going to predict a lot of stuff. But I feel like we need to have a lot of news. And I think if that rumored Switch 2 showcase happens on Thursday and the Microsoft Developer Direct happens in 10 days, I think we'll get some more like lined up of what's happening.
They're announcing a new game at the developers. Xbox.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. And the rumor is it might even be the Oblivion remaster.
Oh my god, yes! Speaking of Elder Scrolls, which decade do you think, or let me put it this way, I'm sorry. Will any of us be alive by the time Elder Scrolls 6 comes out?
I don't know.
I'm saying no.
I'm
saying no.
Yeah, I think at this point, my guess is it's probably 8 to 10 years out. At that point, I don't even know what the world looks like.
I'm saying Josh's grandkids.
It's going to look like Fallout.
I'm saying Josh's grandkids will have their grandkids by the time Elder Scrolls 6 comes out.
And they'll play Elder Scrolls 6.
That's
I don't know, my bros. I'm excited for gaming this year, but I will say it is off to a pretty weird start.
MLB 2025. Forgot about all the sports games. There you go.
Oh man, and the new Call of Duty, whatever it's called.
Yes. Call of Duty, we want more money. Why
don't
they just put it that? Why don't you just put the name on it? We want more money. Call of Duty. There you go.
Call of Duty $signs is what it'll be. Yeah, man. Well, we are excited. We'll come back with a crazy prediction episode that will blow your mind, and you'll know all the truths about 2025 because we've foreseen them. Okay, thank you again, and we'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.
Oh, yeah.